To make a sleeve with gathers, of course the sleeve is much bigger than the armhole, and you see all the gathers in here. But to do it again in an easy way, we have here the sleeve. This is the center part for the shoulder. Between these two, I'm supposed to have my gathers fitted to my armhole. So here, between these two, I place a gather, the thread for the gather. It is a good idea to remember, if you place some gathers, you need the double amount to gather it together in. So if you got 10 here, that's gathers, you want to have 10 centimeter of gathers, then you need to have 20 as a distance between these two marks. But to do it as easy as possible, I start sewing already, because I start setting my machine to a longer stitching, and then I stitch from that marking half a centimeter from the edge the first thread. Of course, if this again were industrial wise, there are machines set specially for this, but my machine is not set for it. Now what is important is I pull a long string here, so I got it like that, so I got it like this, but I still need to make one more, so I'll do that. And remember one thing, and that's also half a centimeter from the first one. Attach only in the beginning, not in the end of this, because you need those long strings. So I've got it here, just the same, and pull a long string. Now it is time to place it, because as you can see between these you can drag in the two top threads, only those. If you do it at the bottom ones, then they're gonna lock, but if you do it like this, you can see now I can make my gathers. Now take my armhole and place my sleeve inside. First of all, placing the side seam upon each other, pin it, then as I used to, I have a mark up here telling me where is the center. I just place it like this temporary, because I got to change it afterwards, and you can easily see why, because I have made more gathers than the armhole, so I'm gonna get rid of it so I can just drag it. Now this is okay, then I'm gonna look at the other side. That's not okay, so I need more here. And now it is a brilliant idea to put a pin here and take away my pin up here and see as if I can manage to get gathers that fitting my armhole. Getting there, but still if I need more I can just drag it, and you see now it's okay. When I've done that, I take all these four long strings and a pin and turn it around, because it's not attached, so it's easy to go off. Now you see I got more gathers there than I got here, so I just start dividing this to make it look nice in the end. because it's easy to move them. Now when I have done that, I can place my center here and start placing the rest of my sleeve. And as usual, there is a little bit of ease despite it's with gathers. And the other one, just the same. Remember to place your pins inside your sleeve, otherwise it's going to be a little bit too complicated. Okay, now I've got it, you see. And then it's time for stitching. Remember to set your machine back to normal so you don't stitch it with that super long thread. And here we go. Attach it and start sewing. Now I'm up where the gathers are, just stitching. Because you've got 2 threads, then you are actually dividing it much better than if you only got 1. But of course there's going to be a little problem later, but let's see to that when we're finished. And of course you only want gathers where you placed it, not below, under the arm. That would look quite odd, I think. And now we're done. Let's look into it, because then we've got here our gathers. But you'll see this little awful thing that the thread we use for making the gathers is visible. What to do about that? Remove it, because then now the gathers are stopped and nothing will happen, so you can easily take it away. And that was not the case here. It was not that easy, but normally it is. And you only have to consider one. It doesn't matter about the second one, because that's in between. Now I can just remove the one loose thread in here. So now I got my gathers and no problem. And you'll see in here, of course, I got the second thread I used for gathers, but doesn't matter. When I finish my sleeve, I will overlock everything together, so it won't be possible to see it. And here it is. Remember, when you got gathers, pleats, ease, whatever, the seam is supposed to go out into the sleeve, because that helps lifting up the sleeve and placing it properly. And again, don't iron this, because then it's going to turn flat. You can steam it, but don't iron. So here it is, gathers in a sleeve. Did you like what you just seen, and do you want to learn more? Then subscribe. I'll constantly develop and upload new things, all based upon the professional way of sewing. All the best from me, and good luck with your work.